Hello everyone, this is Arun. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to see an interesting game between Paul Morphy versus Jabez Carr. This game is a very good example why it is very important to control the center in the opening and the importance of good development and king safety. So Morphy had the white pieces and he opens up with pawn to e4. Now the best move for black is to play pawn to e5 or pawn to e6, pawn to c6 or pawn to c5. So all these moves are playable. But his opponent played pawn to h6. The move pawn to h6 contributes nothing to the center or to the development of the pieces. So these kind of moves should be avoided. Morphy continued with the pawn to d4, controlling all the central squares. So white has the ideal center. Now black plays pawn to a5, another aimless move. Now Morphy continues with the bishop to d3, keeping the options open so that he can play pawn to f4, then knight to f3 or pawn to f4 followed by knight to e2. Now black played pawn to b6, another aimless move. Morphy develops the piece with knight to e2 so that he can play pawn to f4, which gives him more control over the e5 square. Black plays pawn to e6. Now Morphy played castling kingside. Now black continued with the bishop a6. Now instead of exchanging the pieces, which helps black to develop the knight, Morphy played c4, avoiding the exchange of the bishops and a fine grip on the d5 square. Now in this position, black plays knight to f6. Instead of knight to f6, if black continues with the move pawn to d5, then white will continue with pawn captures pawn, and after pawn captures pawn on d5, e captures d5, queen captures d5, rook e1 gives white a winning attack on the black king, which is in the center. So let's go back to our game. Black plays knight to f6. Now Morphy played pawn to e5, attacking the knight. Now black plays knight to h6. So you can see here, black position is not so good. He is moving the same piece twice. The knight on the h7 is not so great. They say that the knight on the rim is a dim. Now Morphy continued with pawn to f4. Black plays bishop to e7. Now Morphy continued with knight to g3, moving the same piece twice, but the idea is to play queen f3 to attack the rook on the a8 square. Now black plays pawn to d5. Now Morphy plays queen to g4. Black castles here. So instead of castling kingside, if black plays d captures c4, then bishop to e4 attacking the rook, queen to d4 check, king h1, c6, queen to g7, which attacks both the rook and the knight, gives a winning advantage to white. In the game, black castles. Now white continues with the knight to h5, threatening mate on the g7 square. Now if black plays g6, then bishop captures g6 and white wins in this position. Let's say for example, after pawn captures bishop, queen into g6 check, king h8, queen g7 is a checkmate. Let's go back to our game. After knight h5, black continues with g5. The move g5 weakens the king side here. White continues with pawn captures pawn, threatening g into h6, discover attack on the king. Black recaptures h into g5. Now Morphy played bishop into h7 check. In this position, black continued with king h8. But let's see what happens if king captures the bishop. If king captures the bishop, then white will continue with knight to f6 check, and after bishop into knight, pawn into bishop, rook h8 so that the king can escape to the f8 square. White will continue with queen into g5, and after queen f8, white can play the move rook to f3, threatening rook h3, and there is no defense. Let's go back to our game. In our game, we have king h8. So black didn't capture the bishop. Now white continues with the knight to f6. Black played pawn captures pawn. Now Morphy continues with the bishop c2, a good move in this position. Instead of bishop c2, if white continues with the queen h5, then black will continue with queen into d4 check, and in this position white can play bishop e3. Yes, small trick here, but if black knows what he is doing, he can play the move queen h4 and he is defending very well indeed. So instead of queen h4, if Black plays queen into bishop, then he is lost here because after king h1, white threatens bishop g6 with a mating attack and there is no defense. So let's go back to our game. In our game, after pawn captures pawn, white continues with bishop c2. Now black continues with queen into d4 check, queen captures queen. Now black plays bishop c5, pinning the Morphy's queen, but it's not a big deal. Morphy simply played queen into bishop, and after pawn captures queen, he continues with a simple bishop into g5, and after knight c6, Morphy played rook to f3, threatening rook h3, king g7, rook h7 mate. So black played king g7. Now a very nice move by Morphy. Please pause the video and try to find the best move for white. Okay, so in this position, if you are thinking that a rook h3 will win, that's wrong because black will play rook h8 and he is defending here. So instead of rook h3, Morphy played bishop h6, a nice sacrifice to drag the king to the h file so that he can deliver the mating attack. Black plays king captures bishop, and of course he cannot play the move king h8 because white will continue with rook h3 and the game is over here. So black captures the bishop on h6, rook to h3 check, king g5, rook h5 check, king f4. Now a very nice move by Morphy. Again, you can pause the video and try to find the best move for white here. Okay, the move is king f2, controlling the e3 square and preparing the move pawn to g3 checkmate. Black plays rook g8, but it's not going to help. White continues with g3, and after rook into g3, pawn into rook, it's a checkmate. So you can see center control, king safety and development, all three are important to win the chess game. Don't forget to use all the pieces in the battle. And yeah, if you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Bye for now.